Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this morning. We're going to be learning today how to create a listing presentation in MoxiPresent. Before we go over how to create a presentation, I'm going to share with you a brief video that's going to go over all the different areas of the presentation and what what the presentation can look like, what the different pages mean and the content, so that you guys can be familiar as to what we're looking at. And then after that, we'll go ahead and go into showing you where to go to actually create the presentation. So let's just watch this short video. And then if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat box in the meantime, and we'll address the questions when the video is done.
MoxiPresent report pages. In this example, we'll be looking specifically at a seller presentation. The cover page. This page highlights the subject property, your agent image, and your brokerage branding. You can edit this to change or remove the image, hide your agent image, change the title, hide the address, hide the logo, or add a date. Your subject property page. This shows all of the details regarding the listing this presentation is all about. You have the ability when creating this presentation to add as much detail as possible that will then show on this page. The more detail you can provide, the more meaningful it will be for your customer. Listing location map. This map showcases all of the comparables selected for your presentation. You can see where they are all located in relation to your subject property. Your subject property is shown as a star on the map. The listings are then shown with color coding to indicate their listing status. Green are active properties, yellow are pending, and red are sold. Any other status like expired, canceled, withdrawn will show as a gray icon. Choose any of the icons to find the property in the carousel at the top. Then select any property to open the listing details. Listing overview page. This page shows you all of your comparables in a card view. All of the pertinent data is right there on each card. This page is also important to use if creating a PDF version of your presentation. The listing details information will then be displayed in your PDF version as long as you include this listing overview page. Side-by-side comparisons. Your side-by-side comparison page shows the apples-to-apples comparisons for property information, pricing information, and features. This is a customizable page where you can choose each line or feature you would like to include. The subject property stays on the left-hand side of the page, and you can use the arrow in the upper right to cycle through all of your comparables. And anywhere you see an image of a property, you can select that image to dive further into the listing details. Status comparisons. This is what I like to call the number cruncher screen. It's showing us all of the same information we've seen on other pages regarding our listings, but only by the numbers. We also group these listings by status type. Listing averages. The listing averages page takes a look at all of the comparables you selected and shows the averages of property details like beds and baths, but also the low, median, and high for pricing. This is also an interactive page that allows you or your client to focus in on one or more status groups by deselecting the status buttons at the top. If we only wanted to look at solds, we can deselect pending and other and focus in on the sold information. Price and days on market. This is one of two scatter graphs that show how the selected comparables are impacting the market. Generally, the longer a property is on the market, the price has been reduced over time. Your trend line is impacted by the sold and pending properties in this presentation. And in this case, the sold and pending properties are showing a relatively flat trend line. As with the listing averages page, you can focus on specific statuses by selecting or deselecting the status button at the top of the page. You can also hover over any of the colored dots to identify which listing is impacting the graph. Price and size. This is the second of the two scatter graphs in the MoxiWorks report pages. Generally, the larger a property, the more expensive it will be. This trend line is showing exactly this information. This graph trend line is only looking at the sold listings. The same rules apply to this graph as the previous. Hover over the dot to see which property is impacting the graph, and select or deselect status buttons at the top of the page to focus in on one or more statuses. Pricing analysis. The pricing analysis page shows the approximate market value you enter when creating your presentation. The pricing stats section is generated by the system and directed by the sold comparables chosen for this presentation. It looks at the average price of the sold comps and gives you that top number. It then looks at the average price per square foot and applies that to the square footage of your subject property to give you the last number. You can also add in commentary to this page to provide more insight and expertise for your client to review. Net proceeds. One of the most common questions from any client is, what will I earn from the sale of my property? The net proceeds sheets let you walk through different scenarios that show your client the cost of selling. Each presentation can have up to 3 net proceeds sheets, letting you show an as-is scenario, a pricing if your client were to upgrade or remodel, and some agents have used the net proceeds sheets to run through an offer they received with their client. And finally, the agent bio. MoxiWorks has provided an About Me page. This page displays your agent photo, contact information, and a biography. All of this information is pulled directly from your My Account section and can be updated there at any time. In the next video, we'll be looking at creating a presentation.
Good morning. Okay, great. So I hope you guys were able to see that whole video. That video is just kind of like a little brief description as to what the presentation has and all the different areas of it. So we're going to go right into logging into MoxiWorks and going ahead and starting a presentation. I'm going to show you the steps on how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And remember that MoxiWorks, you are to go to MoxiWorks through your leverage account. So hopefully you have all been able to have access to your leverage account. Okay, so here we are. So once you log into leverage, you're going to go to MoxiWorks. Hopefully you have it already saved on your My Pages, but if you don't, you know MoxiWorks is always under Agent Tools. If you scroll down, you have MoxiWorks. Okay. Once you're here, you're going to look for your login button to MoxiWorks. Okay. From your dashboard here, you're going to be using, which is what we're going to be learning today, is Present. So we want to go ahead and click on Present, which is going to take us to your presentation builder page. Once you're here in your presentation builder page, you can create a new presentation. You will also be able to see here any previous presentations that you have created where you'll be able to either send them from here or you can also edit them from here. But we're going to go ahead today and go over how to create a new presentation. So you're going to look for your button all the way up in the top right-hand corner. where it says create new. Under create new, you're going to have several different presentations that have already been pre-done here in the system, and it's going to give you the option to select which one is best fits your need. And today we're going to go over on doing like a traditional CMA. So I'm going to select seller, and then I'm going to continue. But as you can see, there's different options here for you to choose from depending on what type of presentation you're doing. Once you continue, you're going to have the broker templates. Right now, we don't have any broker templates there that are available for you. That's going to be something we will be working on. So I would like for you to go to the ERA real estate templates. Okay, and that's going to have a few other templates that you can choose from. So you see you have the default seller here. You have an ERA classic. You also have an ERA classic Spanish presentation. And this presentation is going to have all the different pages will be in Spanish. So if you're trying to do a Spanish one, this would be a great option for you. Then you also have the ERA luxury presentation for distinct properties. To see the pages that come with each presentation, you just click on pages, and it's going to show you how many pages is going to have within that presentation. Keeping in mind that you can always add or remove pages that you don't use. So just to see what they look, what pages are going to come in each presentation, you can just kind of like give it a quick overview there. As you can see here in the Spanish, it has pretty much the classic pages, but they're going to be in Spanish. And then the luxury presentation has a lot more sophisticated flyers that have already been pre-done for this presentation. But for today, I'm just going to go with the classic. So I select the one that I want, and once I do that, I click continue. Okay. Then here you can go ahead and put who the presentation is being done for. So if you can put the name of your customer, because this can show up on your presentation. So you can put the name of your customer. So for right now, I'm just going to put MOXI class. And your listing source, if it's Miami, which it typically is, or you can put no, it doesn't have another option. So I always leave it at Miami. And here you'll have your office. You'll be able to choose. It should have a default, your office that you're in, but you can always change it if it's not. And I'm going to leave it in the default office. I'm going to go ahead and click create. And you're going to give it a second, and the screen will change once it goes into the area where you can start modifying your presentation. So here's where you're going to be putting in the information of your property. So there's two ways to do this. If you have a property that you're trying to get a listing on and it's been listed in the MLS previously, you can actually put in the MLS number here, and it will pull up that old listing from the MLS, and it'll bring, the pictures and information about the property. Or if you don't, if this is a property that's never been listed, then you can just go ahead and start putting in the information down here as far as like the address of the property. Any information that you got from the tax roll can be put here in this area regarding the property. Any remarks that you have from what you've seen of the property and what you want, what you think the price should be. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and actually use an MLS, a property that's already in the MLS. So you go ahead and you put in the MLS number here. Hit enter. And click copy. And here we go. It's bringing in all the information from this particular listing that was already listed in the MLS. Now you can, once you do this, you can change the pictures. If you don't have obviously an MLS number, you can go to browse and you can open up wherever you have pictures on your computer that you might have taken of this listing you're trying to get. Or you can also go click on MLS and it will open any images that the MLS has. If you wanted to change the main picture to a different one, you can do that. You can select it there. It's going to bring in any pictures from the MLS that's currently there. Okay, so you can do that, and I'll go ahead and leave that picture. And then you can just scroll down. Can you guys still see and hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know. It froze here for a minute. So let me just click copy again. Let me do this again. Copy. Okay. So then, like I said, you can scroll down and you can add any kind of information you want. You can change the remarks. It is going to pull the remarks from the MLS. So you might want to change that if there's something that you know, put in your own remarks about the property. You can do all of that. Any of these fields can be changed before you move out to your presentation. Okay. And you could also remove pages. So if there's something later on that you see that you don't want to have in your presentation, you can do that. So once it does that, it's going to go ahead and it's going to pull all the properties, the actives, the solds, and the pendings in the area of the property that you're doing the CMA for. So here you can go ahead and sort it by price. You can sort it by square footage, by days on the market, by the status. So I can go ahead and say, well, I'm going to sort it by the, up here in the top, I'm going to go ahead, oh, sorry, sort. You're going to go here where it says distance and use the little arrow key to change it to whatever you want to sort it by. So I want to sort it by status. So then I see that I have all these active listings up on the top. So you can go ahead and review which ones you want to use in your CMA. And in order to select the ones that you want to use in your CMA, you simply just put your cursor over the picture, click the plus, and you can go ahead and select. Okay, then I can go ahead and scroll down and maybe select a few pendings and select a few sold. And once you've selected the ones that you want, then you can continue. Now you can use these features up on the top. You can go ahead and put a price. You can put the bedrooms and baths, or you can open the filters and say why, you know, make sure you only are getting single families. But let's say if you wanted to add some multifamily in there, you can do that. And it will give you those type of properties. So you can just go ahead and like fine tune your CMA by using the filter contents. So once you've selected, and you're going to see here in the map, the ones you've selected, you see how you have all the reds and you have the greens for active, the red for sold, and the grays for inactive, and then pendings will be the orange. Okay, so then you can scroll down to the bottom here. You can click continue. At any point, you can add listings if you want to add more listings, or you can remove listings. So once you have all of your stuff here, if you wanted to add more listings, you can. Or let's say you don't want to put this pending because you realize this is not a good comp, you can just remove it very easily from your presentation. And this is your listing summary. You can put them in the order from high to low, or you can put them in the order from sold to active, days on the market, the distance, anything that you choose here to customize your presentation. Remember that anything that you do, you can go back and change. So it's not set in stone. You can, you know, change it. If you don't like it, once you look at the presentation, you can go back and modify it. So now we're going to go ahead and click continue. And then you're going to see what the estimated market value is. You can change this. You can create a range. It's going to give you all that information here. And as realtors, you guys will, you know, obviously know more than I do about this. You can figure out what you want that price range to be, what you want to offer when you go to your listing presentation. So you just go ahead and tweak this as much as you want. Put any remarks about the estimated pricing that you want. So whatever you want, you can put here. This is a good price for your area. Then you have here the estimated net proceeds, which here's where you can go ahead and put like what the video was talking about. They can do a seller's net for the seller. You can go ahead and if you know how much they owe on their mortgage, you can put that here. You can put what you think it's going to sell for. So let's say you want to put here, you think it's going to sell for $730. And let's say you know that they owe $600 on their mortgage. You can also put here the broker fees that you want to put. So let's say you want to do, you're going to do 3% for this listing and 3% for the selling. Okay, you can do all of that. Any cost that you have that you know you can do here. If you know the taxes, all that information that you did your research on, you can put here. And then you can click save. And it should save that information for you. Then you click continue. And that will lead you to a preview of what your presentation is going to look like. Here you can also make some more customizations. So you can go to your cover page and you can click edit. And it's going to open an area here where you can actually say, well, I don't want to show my photo. Okay, you can select not to show your photo. If you don't want the date, you can select not to show the date. You can put anything you want here on the bottom. When you do web cover design, and when you select that, it's going to let you select some different designs. So here we have the cherry one. You can click change. And then when you click change, it's going to give you a few different options just so that you can make it look how you prefer. So for instance, if you like this design here, you can click select and it's going to change it to that look. So now we're going to, once you made the changes you want to here, you click the X, give it a second, and it should change it. So see, now I've given it a totally different look. The picture's more faded. My picture is not there. You have the property address there. There's no date. And then it has the name of the presentation here. So let's say I don't want the name of the person there. You can also take that off and it should remove this. And this is what you get. You can check every page here on this sidebar. So here you're going to see the different information, the map, the listing overview, your agent profile, the price and size, your side-by-side comparables are going to be here. Your status comparisons and your net proceeds that we did. Oops. So see here, I made a mistake. I put 6 million. So we're going to have to go back. And how do we go back to that? Well, we want to go back to subject property. Okay. And find where I made that mistake. I think I did it. It was under estimate. Here it is. Estimate net proceeds. I want to change that from 6 million to 600. Save and continue. So if you make a mistake, there's no fear. You can always go back. So now let's make sure that this is correct. There we go. So now the seller is making some money. Price and days on market, your listing averages, and your pricing analysis. So this is everything that's going to already be there, and it's going to create your CMA. Now this is live information from the MLS. So anything that changes by the time you do your presentation, if an active listing goes pending, it will update the presentation as well, and it will change that property to pending. Now, to add more pages to your presentation, to give it more information as to, let's say, different things that the company offers, different products, you want to go to add page. So here's where you can add anything. So you can either create a new page or you can add from the library. So we're going to select add from library. Okay. And you're going to see here that you have my pages and ERA real estate pages. So you can look at my pages, which these are some that I have added, but I still have to, I'm still working on these, so we don't want to go ahead and use these. These will be available to you eventually through the brokerage. You'll be able to add some of the pages with our logo on it, but for the time being, you're going to go to ERA real estate. And here you're going to also have the different types of presentations that you can choose from. So you have the ERA classic and the ERA distinctive properties. So let's go to the classic. Then you have classic listing and classic buyer. So since this is for a listing presentation, we're going to click on classic listing. When you click on classic listing 17 pages, it's going to open up all the different flyers that are available for the presentation. And if you want to just view what it is, you can click on it and it's going to show you what it looks like. So this is something that you may want to add to your listing presentation, 10 steps to selling a home. If you like this flyer, you can click on add and it will add it to your presentation. To go back, click on pages, and then you can go add page again, and you can select from there the different types of stuff that you want to put in. You can look through them before you select, or you can select all of them. There's a lot of them. There's like here you have 17 pages. This is going to be like all the different things that talk about what you can do for the listing. So I would, suggest that you kind of like just give them an overview, look at them and see what they are. Always put like, stuff like the power of the brand. You can just add it from here. If you already know what the actual flyer looks like, you can add it from here. In your corner, steps to market your home. Anything that you want to add is very simple to add it here. And you can go back to pages. Now, if you want to look at what your presentation looks like, you can always go to view, but I do want to show you one more thing to add a custom page. So let's say I want to add a custom page. I go to create new. You can upload any PDF that you might have. Let's say if you have a PDF resume that you've done of yourself or a PDF with information about the neighborhood, you can upload anything that you like to your presentation here. Keeping in mind that these presentations, they're horizontal. So whatever you want to upload there should be horizontal unless you change it to vertical. But you also can build a page. So when you click on build page, it's going to open this area here where you have different layouts where you can add different things. Like from here, you can add videos. You can add some additional pictures of the property if you have them. There's lots of things that you can do. So I went into Impress, which is another program that you guys have, and I created a video of pictures of a property that we have listed. It's not the same property, but I just went in there and created that video just to kind of show you guys that you can create a video. So let's say you have a video, you want to go ahead and select just this one here. You click create. It's going to give you the options what to put here, text, image, video, or more. So I can click on video. And then I can put in a URL here that would have my video in it. So in order to get a URL, you have to get that video that you have and you need to put it into YouTube and then, copy the video from there so that you can add a video to your presentation. So let me get the link. I can get a link from YouTube. So you can open YouTube, and if you already have it in your YouTube account, I'm just going to select any listing from here. You can go to share and you can copy the link. When you go back to present, you go to video, you just paste it here, add, and it should have the video there on your presentation. So you do have to create the video and upload it to your YouTube. Unless if it's a listing, I mean, you're not gonna, for a listing presentation, you're not gonna obviously have one of our new listing videos done yet because those are created once you get a listing, but you get the picture. Once you have a video, the pictures of your property or a video that you created, you can go ahead and go to YouTube and copy the video. I believe also here in Impress, you also have the option to create a video. By using this area here. You can upload pictures and create like a short video of the property. And then once you get that video, you can upload it into your YouTube and you can get a link. I think Impress might actually give you a link so that you can upload it into your MoxiPresent. But that's something that we would go over on a class on Impress. I believe that we did that in the last class that we did for Impress. So you might want to review that one. But you have, go ahead and use Impress so that you can create your videos and then you can use them for your presentation, because it looks really nice when you send a presentation to someone and it has a video. You can also look in YouTube for like videos that people have created of the neighborhood, or you can do your own drive through a neighborhood and record it and then just upload your video into the presentation. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And just give it your name. Okay. Okay. Now, once you did that, it might bring it to the very top. You can go ahead and move your pages around. So let's say if you want to have this page at the bottom, you just kind of click and drag it to wherever you want it to be. So if I want it to be at the bottom, you can do that. Or if you want to have it before your flyers, you can do that. Wherever you find it that you like, you can go ahead and put it there. So now you want to go ahead and look at it. So let's look at what the video looks like. So you can print it, but these are mostly, the best way to view them is through the web. You will be able to send a link to your customer or take this presentation in, let's say, your phone or tablet to your customer and show them the presentation. But you do have the option of printing. So now my presentation is ready. So we're going to scroll down to look at it. And this is what your customer would see when you send them the link of the presentation. Here's the power of the brand. We're globally known. And these are flyers that we can put towards the bottom of the presentation. And it's totally up to you where you want them to be. Here's your property summary. Your listing location map. And remember, we can click on any of the properties. So if you wanted to see which one this is, it'll take you right to it. If you want to see which one this is, it'll take you to that one. And you can also click on it to preview the property. And this is something that your customer will be able to do when they get the link. It's very interactive. So this is your listing overview where you can also click on the property and it'll also open it there with information about the property. Then you have your resume. Your side-by-side comparison, and your resume should be at the end. So for instance, here we saw that it's in the middle. Well, we go back to it and then we're going to move it to wherever we want. And so that's why you should always review your presentation before you send it to anyone. And so on, it just goes on to all the different areas. And here's your video that they can go ahead and play within the presentation. So you just go back and you can go ahead and again, you can click and drag where you want the order that you want it in. And it'll save it automatically. Any changes that you make to this, let's say if you've given the link to your customer, any changes that you make to it, it will update the link. So if you send the link and then you're looking at it and you decide, oh, I forgot to add this, you can add anything that you want or remove anything you want, and it does update the link that you send to your customer. So again, you can always go back using the top here. You can go back to the listings. You can unselect or select more. You can go to the estimate and change this information. Anything that you change, it will change it in the link, okay? And any changes you want to make to pages, you can go here. So if you don't like this, say you don't like this cover, you can go back into the cover. You can change it to something else. And it will tell you, okay, so this one's not available for this cover page. So let's select a different one. And then once you save it, once you click, this one doesn't have a save button. So don't be scared if you make the change and you're like, where do I save it? once you make the change here, it automatically saves it. So once you hit the X, it will update the presentation. So you got to play with it, select which one looks the best for you, whatever you want. Move things around, just play with it. And I recommend that you all, just get a listing or get a property that and your own property, let's say your own home, and mess around with it, put the pictures in there, look at the presentation, modify it, and you could customize it to your own liking. And you could also save them as like as a template. So let's say once you put in here all the different flyers that you want to have in here, or any video, like some people like to do videos of themselves. Let's say they want to do like a video of their experience and their knowledge of the market. You can record yourself and upload a video of yourself on here and save it as a default. So next time you do a presentation, it'll be already there for you to select from it. Now, once you're done with your presentation, you got it to where you like, you can email it by clicking send, okay? Oops, sorry, I meant to hit later. Then here you can go ahead and send it to whoever you want. You can send it as a presentation, and you can also send a PDF so that if the person wants to print it out, they can, or they want to view it as a PDF, they can. Now I will show you really quickly. Here you can view it as a PDF. Might take a little bit because it's a large presentation, so it's going to take a few, but you can save it as a PDF and you can print it in the office as well. We do have presentation folders here in the office that you guys can use so that you can print out your presentations. If the person that you're doing the CMA for, they may not have a computer or they don't have an email. Sometimes, it's very hard to find someone who doesn't have an email nowadays, but it happens. So you can go ahead and see that you can also print it in a PDF format here and put it into a folder and take it to your customer, which is it is a good idea to print it out for them, but keeping in mind that once you do download the PDF, that data is not going to change. So if something changes on the link, it's not going to change on your PDF. So you might want to wait to print your PDF till you go, right before you're going to your presentation. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Does anybody need me to go over anything again? This is the time to ask.
Ani, gracias, es Nereida.
Hi.
Voy, por cierto, esta tarde para un listing presentation. Precisamente estaba mirando, por eso traté de coger la clase ahora. ¿Pudieras enviar el link donde empezar este listing presentation by PDF, please?
Okay, so the link to this class will be ready, but it'll be, it takes a little while for it to be ready. So once the class is over, I will have the recording available and I will upload it to YouTube. Yeah, but I have to, it will take a little bit to get the link from the system. So I won't have it for you right away. Yeah, so as soon as I have it, I'll send it to you.
So
I lost you there, can't hear you.
okay, I can use the link today.
Say that again.
If I can use this listing presentation by PDF today, the link.
Yeah, if you create one, is that what you're asking? If you create a listing presentation? Yeah, it's available the minute you do it. So this here already you have the link. So if when you go to send it, you're gonna you see send presentation. As soon as you're done with it, you can email it to whoever you like.
Okay.
Yeah, and the PDF, they're both done. See here, you got print view and you have web view, and you can print it from here or you can download it. So, but that once you're done with completing your CMA, your presentation, it's already downloaded. It's already ready for download.
Okay. So
any other questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Has anybody here tried doing a presentation and present yet?
No yet. I'm gonna try today.
You're gonna try today. So remember, guys, it's really not something that it's not gonna be anything that you're gonna break or if you're gonna mess it up. As long as you don't send it to anybody, you still have time to fix it. And you can always go to home. Once you finish a presentation, your presentations are gonna be there. So you can go there to home and you can go ahead to the little pencil and it's gonna open it again so that you can start from the beginning and make any changes. So, and don't send it out until it's completely ready and you've viewed it and you troubleshoot, you make sure that all the information that you want is there. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me, but we do have training videos that are available to you. And you also can go to the MOXI support website. And they also have training videos as the one that I showed you previously. There is a video there that also shows you how to do the presentations. And just, play around with it. You got different presentations that you can do. You can do the buyer tours. You can do let me see, I'll show you again the different options. We have a property review, a buyer tour, or you can do like a buyer CMA on a potential property that they might want to see or that they're interested in, or you can just create a presentation for anything. You can create a presentation on yourself, like your own resume. You can, create something there that might have, like, let's say, properties that you've sold in the past, any listings that you may have. You can create something nice there with your resume that you can have on your website that somebody can click on and they can see the presentation. So, the possibilities are endless with the program. You can really do a lot of stuff in it. And it's fairly easy if you just follow the steps. It kind of tells you what to do next. So you should be okay. I'm really excited if you guys do create a presentation, like a test presentation, send it to me so I can see how your progress is with the program. And, always keeping in mind that the more we learn about it, the easier it's going to get for us to use it. So just, stay up to date with the classes that come out on the calendar. ERA is constantly putting out these classes on how to use the different products of MOXI. Okay, do you guys have any questions that I can answer for you regarding this or anything else that you have a concern? Lydia, go ahead. You could unmute yourself, Lydia.
Hi, I wanted to know where we could see these videos that you say you're gonna put back on YouTube later.
Okay, so our YouTube channel, I think you guys can still see my screen. Our YouTube channel has an area where it has FSR ERA training videos, and you can see the videos there. I upload them as soon as I am able to get them, we get them ready, they're there. So when you go to YouTube, you wanna do the YouTube, youtube.com/ and then add First Service Realty ERA. So go into there to subscribe to our page so you can see the different videos that we have, but they are here. Now we also have the MOXI Works Help Center. So if you want to, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this for you. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you guys want to go there, this website here has also all the information on different videos on how to use the different programs. So they're already pre-recorded videos and trainings on how to use the different programs in MOXI.
What was the email address for that? Support MOXI?
Yes, I put it in the chat. If you click on the chat, you're able to click on it, but it's support.moxiworks.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share. So does anybody else have any other questions regarding MOXI that I can help? Because we have like a few more minutes. No? Okay, great. So I'm glad that you guys joined, and I hope that you were able to learn something today and that you were able to go ahead and start those presentations and get out there and showing them, because it is a great product. It's going to really help you guys a lot. And make sure to come to our next class. I try to do all the MOXI classes on Thursday. Next week, we are not going to be doing any classes because we have it's Thanksgiving week next week. So we decided not to do any classes, but you can join us next Tuesday for our buyers class that James is going to be doing. And then we will have another class, more classes coming in December. Not going to be too many in December, but we will have a few.
Yes, one other question. Yesterday there was a seminar. I planned to go to it. It says you were gonna, I think it was you was gonna be there till 3, but then it got canceled.
Yes, it did. It's going to be rescheduled till I believe after the holidays. Yeah, I just came back from a cruise, and we took the precautions to make sure that I didn't have any anything going on and get anybody sick. So we decided it was best to. Yeah,
Good
a few people were getting sick on the cruise. I'm not sick, but just to be on the very safe side, we decided to reschedule it for another time because it's an interactive class. I was going to be working with you guys directly, and I didn't want to have to make anybody uncomfortable. So we're going to do that.
I just wanted to make sure you reschedule it because I was already going to be in Pembroke Pines and it worked out perfectly for me.
Yeah, we will reschedule it. And those classes are always going to be on via Zoom as well. I do have the recording of how to set up your MOXI Engage and your website in YouTube, so you can try doing it by following the steps there as well. So but we will reschedule. We'll let you know as soon as we do the class again in Pembroke.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we don't have any further questions. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you for the next class.